Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Let's run a mixed freight, well, not mixed freight, say coal, and we're going to switch to sawmill both for the Interstate Railroad today. Get up my RS3. And all of the interstate coal cars and the caboose were painted and decaled by me. Can't buy them. I had decals made. So we're leaving the yard through the tunnel. In case you're wondering, the coal cars are Pico. They're an excellent match for the interstate cars. The only problem is they don't have any brake detail at all. No brake wheels or anything, which I'm not wild about. And the caboose is the closest one I could find to something that the interstate had. So the locomotive is an Aristocrat RS3 with a Revolution installed. I'm not sure what the sound system is, but I'm not real wild about it, and I'm going to replace it with Rail Pro. It's going to be a longer video because I left it all in. Added out me walking a couple times, but that's about it. This is running the loop through the S-curve. Next time around, we're going to stop and switch the coal mine. New plants are really doing well in the Garden Railroad. We've had timely rain, well spaced out. Here I pulled up a little bit farther and got to back up. Let the guys off on the caboose so they wouldn't have to walk as far. That's my story. So because the Pico hoppers are smaller, I can only get 3 of the USA Trains hoppers on this spur, but I could probably get 5 of the Pico if I had them. I only have 7 cars right now. I've got enough decals to do 3 more. I need to pick some up. So we're going to pull the loads, and then we're going to couple up to the empties and push them in. And one thing you'll notice with the shorter cars and my tight curves, I body mounted all these couplers. They don't have the truck mounted couplers, and the coupling is much easier and much more reliable because the cars are shorter. So I had to fiddle with them very rarely. Basically, I could just push up to a car and it would couple, even on the curves. Wearing my L&N shirt. Actually, there were 3 railroads that were thinking about buying the interstate back in the early 60s. L&N was one of them. But the Southern beat them out. They're part of Norfolk Southern now, what's left of them. Very tip of Southwest Virginia. There are 2 excellent books, highly recommend. A guy named Ed Wolf wrote them. The orange covered one is basically the history, but the black covered one is operations. So if you want to know how coal mine were switched, I highly recommend that book. If I had to give up one of them, I'd give up the orange one. It's an interesting railroad. They had about 3,000 coal hoppers, and the most boxcars they ever owned at one time was 13, and they never had a steel boxcar. That was always early in their history. Almost pure coal. So I'm just uncoupling by hand, but really I didn't have to couple at all, hardly. It was pretty much automatic. Filming this Sunday evening when the entire railroad is pretty much in the shade. You can see a little bit of sun on my protruding belly there, peeking through the trees, but it was very comfortable running this time of night. I didn't have to touch it, coupled automatically even on the curve. I don't know how many birds you're hearing because the engine seems awful loud when I play the video back, but there's all kinds of birds when I was there. You can adjust the volume, but it's just like low, medium, and high. I think I had it on medium. High is deafening. All right, so we're going to film this entire operation here. I've got the camera in a better location. We should be able to see everything. So the reason why I chose this was Jawtooth's video a couple days ago. That was definitely the dustiest coal train I've ever seen. I have seen pictures with coal dust coming off, but man, nothing like what he had. And I grew up next to the NW and saw a million coal trains. Well, not a million, but I'm sure thousands and thousands of coal trains in the 11 years we lived right next to the tracks. Never saw anything like that. But, and I've mentioned this before in my videos, there's a rule that if you have wood chips and coal in the same train, the coal cars have to be behind the wood chips because that dust will contaminate the wood chips because they're going to a paper mill. So it requires a little bit of extra switching sometimes to do that. And so that's what I'm going to sort of demonstrate here is normally I would just put the wood chip car on the back of the train, but I can't do that now because I'm hauling coal. So I have to put the wood chip car ahead of all the coal hoppers. I'm figuring that coal train that Jawtooth saw must have been fresh out of the mine and it hadn't rained on it or anything because I've never seen anything like that. I can't imagine guys in a caboose. If I had a caboose on that train, they'd be suffocating back there. Even with all the windows and doors shut, it would be brutal in a caboose. Okay, we're going to pull the full wood chip car. We're going to leave the box car. It's there to be loaded with lumber. It actually did couple. I was just checking it. We're going to spot the wood chip hopper on the siding. Now, if this wasn't a coal train, I could just tack it onto the back of the train, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. I can't do that now. I can't put it behind the coal cars. And since we're in the shade, I don't have my big floppy hat on. I've got something a railroader might actually wear. It's my sun-bleached Cincinnati Reds hat. Okay, so now we're going to go pick up the cut of coal hoppers and couple them onto the wood chip car. So it will be in the front. Alright, the train is in the correct order. So now I have to go get the caboose and couple it to the back of the train. That's where I get my exercise walking around the yard. I heavily weathered the RS3. I saw a photograph in one of the books I was telling you about, and they generally kept their locomotives looking pretty good. They had a fleet of RS3s. They dieselized pretty early, in the early 50s, so a lot of rail fans just chased steam for the rest of the 50s and ignored the interstate. But you know, I saw a picture in there, a color picture, where it was pretty dirty. So I just took some matte black spray paint and stayed on top, over top of it, and just moved the can back and forth and let it settle on the locomotive. A lot of people in G-scale don't weather their stuff, but I do. Ever run back around the train again? Well, we're heading to the yard. A little bit longer video, but I wanted to show you the impact of not being able to put the wood chip car behind the coal cars. So hopefully Jawtooth's clothes all came out okay. Because that coal dust looked pretty nasty. I'm glad I wasn't with him. Again, everyone have a happy Memorial Day, and remember the reason why we have it. Everybody stay safe.